This is the story of Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, Part 1 of 4. This is where it all begins, and in this series I will cover the entire story, including every expansion and every content patch. For this first chapter, your starting city depends on which class you choose for your character. Though the details differ for different cities, the overall plot points are the same. In this video, we'll start in Ul'dah, and at the end I'll explain the minor differences that happen in the other two cities. And without further ado, let's get started. In the land of Eorzea, scholars chart their histories through the astral eras of peace, broken by umbral eras of darkness. At the end of the 6th astral era, the Garlean Empire sought to conquer Eorzea once and for all. Eorzeans formed an alliance to defend their homeland.
Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Gaius, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm.
Thus ended the 6th astral era. Five years later, as Eorzeans live on and rebuild, our hero journeys to Ul'dah seeking adventure. A comforting voice calls out to the hero, but a black-robed figure appears.
Hear, feel, think.
The hero awakens in the back of a carriage on its way to Ul'dah, but a moment later the carriage is stopped by the brass blades. The blades plant an illicit substance and threaten arrest, but an arrow flies in from elsewhere. As the Ul'dah tribe attack the blades, the carriage escapes unharmed. Later, a passenger named Brent makes conversation with the hero as two white-haired teen twins sit quietly nearby. Brent tells the hero a bit about Ul'dah, explaining that it's officially ruled by a sultana, but the syndicate holds the real power. He also says that the Ul'dah is an aggressive local beast tribe. As they arrive at the gates, he gives the hero some coins and says goodbye. Just inside the gate, a man named Wymond tells the hero that if he's new to the city, he should speak with Momodi at the Quicksand. The hero finds Momodi and she says she owns the Quicksand and manages the Adventurers Guild. She says there's always plenty of work in the area, with the Ul'dah attacks and the scheming Garlean Empire nearby. Because of the calamity 5 years ago, a lot of people have foggy memories, recalling warriors of light but not much else, and the city is still seeing plenty of refugees every day. Just then, they witness a debt collector harassing a gambler. Momodi simply tells the hero not to end up like that guy, and then says welcome to Ul'dah. At Momodi's suggestion, the hero takes a tour of the city and talks to a few residents and buys some nice armor. After touring the city, he returns to Momodi, who says he should go to the dispatch yard and meet Papashan. Papashan introduces himself as an old station master and asks the hero to hand out snacks to soldiers in the area. After doing so, the hero returns to Papashan, who says the real reason he wanted the hero to touch base with the soldiers was because they are looking for a missing noblewoman. None of the soldiers have found her, so Papashan pleads with the hero for help. The hero explores the area and finds her praying near a tree.
Show yourself!
Another man finds her just as the hero does, and the woman is frustrated.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone.
He mentions etheric disturbances and other dangers, then turns to the hero.
Ah, you must be the one the Papashan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. Alas, the station master will have to wait.
The woman, Lilira, runs to safety as the unknown man and the hero fight the beast. After slaying it, the hero notices a glowing crystal, then has a vision.
Feel. Think.
He hears the same voice from his dream earlier, who reveals herself to be Hydaelyn. She speaks of light going dim and of all life being under threat. She bids the hero to gather all the crystals of light and banish the darkness.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation.
The hero awakens from the dream as Leadup and the other man wonder how a creature of the void got to this area. Then they turn to the hero.
No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt.
The hero mentions the crystal he found.
But of course, this changes everything.
Leadup heads to Papashan and the other man leaves. The hero returns to Papashan to find him scolding Leadup. She says she won't do it again and is escorted home. Papashan thanks the hero, then tells him that the other man's name is Thancred, and he's a scholar who's studying disturbances in the ether. Papashan suggests the hero look for work in the area, and the hero makes his way to a tavern called Coffer and Coffin. He picks up a few odd jobs, like killing pests and feeding children. He meets a poor merchant named Wystan who complains about corruption and wants to make a fortune so he can use his money to make Ul'dah a better place. Their conversation is interrupted as a brass blade he hired barges in and says they've found a mineral vein he's been looking for. Wystan runs to see and the hero follows after him. The hero finds they've tricked Wystan and ambushed him. As he draws his weapon to fight the blades, a black-robed man appears and summons a golem. The brass blades flee in fear as the hero takes on the golem. After defeating the golem, Thancred arrives and the hero is struck with another vision. In this vision, he sees Thancred flirting with women in Ul'dah, then mulling over news that the Amalja beast tribe has been hoarding crystals. In a later scene, Thancred is wearing a high-tech mask that allows him to see ether directly. The hero awakens from the vision as Thancred assists Wystan. Thancred turns to the hero and says he's following etheric disturbances, but they always take him to the hero, so maybe he should just follow the hero around instead. He then says Wystan's trap was set up by Lord Lolorito, a powerful man they don't want to get mixed up with. Thancred ends up escorting Wystan back to the tavern, and the hero follows shortly thereafter. Back at Coffer and Coffin, Wystan thanks the hero and says he's going to skip town to stay alive. Then he suggests the hero speak with Momodi. Back at the Quicksand, Momodi expresses sympathy for Wystan and says Lolorito is the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company and a syndicate member. She says the hero did the right thing and tells him not to get discouraged about corruption in Ul'dah because most of the citizens are good people. She then says there's work for the hero in a town called Horizon. In Horizon, the hero picks up more odd jobs, slaying pests and recovering dropped gems. A brass blade named Fufulupa hires the hero to assist a courier in delivering a package to Lost Hope, where he meets Leofric, who hires the hero to kill a local bandit leader. When the hero reports back to Leofric, he asks the hero to deliver an ornate dagger to Fufulupa. Back in Horizon, Fufulupa is shocked to receive the dagger and says it must be a mistake. Moving on, he then asks the hero to assist the brass blades in the Footfalls. At the Footfalls, the blade Totoruna tells the hero to beat it and they don't want any help, but another bystander asks the hero to deliver a message to Crescent Cove. The hero delivers the message, but seeing that some of the blades are acting strangely, the hero asks around town. A woman named Marilda says she heard that bandits are planning to rob gems from the Copperbell mines, and just then Fufulupa walks up. He immediately runs off to inform Brassblade Captain Baldwin, but Marilda says Captain Baldwin is working with the bandits. The hero chases after Fufulupa, but he's a bit too late. Captain Baldwin admits he's conspiring with the bandits and says Fufulupa needs to stay out of it. Further, he says he's acting under the orders of Lolorito himself. A man standing next to Baldwin recognizes the hero and says he killed his brother, the bandit leader from Lost Hope, earlier. A brawl breaks out. After the hero kicks their asses, Leofric shows up and says they're full of it. Lolorito had nothing to do with this. He then turns to Fufulupa and says he's a man of honor and the ornate dagger gift was no accident. He's being promoted. Later in Horizon, Fufulupa says Baldwin has been stripped of rank and Fufulupa himself is now acting captain for Horizon. He then says that among Baldwin's possessions was a letter to Owen, a member of the Sultansworn, the personal guard of the Sultana. The hero takes the letter to Momodi back at the Quicksand. Momodi says she trusts Owen 100%, but more is going on here. She reveals to the hero that the Sultana's crown has been stolen, and it happened under Owen's watch. She suggests speaking with Owen himself. The hero speaks with Owen, and he's ashamed that the crown was stolen under his watch. He says they've searched desperately for it, to no avail, but that this letter offers the crown for a ransom. It's the only lead they have, so the hero and Owen head to the meeting place mentioned in the letter. At the meeting place, the thieves take the ransom money and refuse to hand over the crown. Instead, they ambush him with a gang of bandits. But the Sultansworn appear as well in a counter-ambush, and Papashan is revealed to be one of them. A brawl breaks out between the hero and the Sultansworn versus the bandits. After they defeat the bandits, the Sultansworn pursues them further, but the hero, alone, is approached by the black-robed man again. He summons a gargoyle this time, and both attack the hero. A moment later, Thancred joins the fight. After they defeat them, Thancred reveals that the black-robed mage was an Ascian, bringers of chaos, and this would explain the aetheric disturbances. He thanks the hero and leaves. Near the fallen Ascian, the hero watches as a dark purple crystal vanishes. The hero returns to the Sultansworn office, known as the Heart of the Sworn, to ask about the crown. Papashan says they have retrieved it, and they express immense gratitude for the hero. Then, the Sultana herself arrives to thank the hero in person.
Her Royal Majesty, Nanamo Ul'Namo presides.
Long live Nanamo!
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the
Glory
Sultana!
to the Sultana!
Forever may she
Forever
reign!
may she reign!
Betokening our gratitude and esteem, I, Nanamo Ul'Namo, Sultana of Ul'dah, confer upon you this gift.
She personally invites him as an honored guest to the Royal Banquet. Then the Flame General Roban approaches.
If what they say is true, Ul'dah owes you a great debt. I am Rauban al-Din. With the consent of Her Grace, I oversee the affairs of the Sultanate. Brave souls are few and far between in these tides. I count my blessings when I find one. For the sake of Her Grace and the glory of the Sultanate, may you walk in the light of the crystal.
Once they're gone, Owen suggests that the hero speak with Momodi to learn about their customs before attending the banquet. Momodi tells the hero he'll be required to wear ceremonial earrings, which are used as a security measure, so he picks them up from the local goldsmith.
Your Grace.
Rauban, by right of the Royal House of Ul, I, Nanamo, 17th of my line, have summoned you here. We are graced this day by the presence of a hero to Ul'dah and dear friend to the crown. Honored guests, I give you our champion! And with that, I bid you enjoy the feast.
A moment later, Roban tells the hero about Ul'dah's problems and how the Sultana is undermined by the Syndicate every time she tries to fix them.
Beneath her mask of stately serenity, she is aghast at the plight of her subjects. I am truly grateful for all you have done for Ul'dah. But there is so much more to do.
The hero's crystal begins to shine, and Roban asks about it.
So bright. Almost like by the 12. Tell me true. Have you been troubled by strange dreams of late? Visions of the crystal?
The hero confirms this, so Roban tells him about the heroes from before the calamity.
Though they were not of this land, when the Garlean Empire threatened the realm, they helped bring together the 3 grand companies.
He says they were lost at the Battle of Cartineau 5 years ago, but no one has forgotten their sacrifice, though no one can remember what they looked like.
It is for this reason that we have come to call them the Warriors of Light.
He then says this crystal is a gift from Hydaelyn herself, and she gifted it to him for a reason.
Yours is no ordinary tale. If I am right, the fate of the realm may yet hang upon your deeds.
Just then, the hero is struck with another vision. In this vision, he witnesses the battle at Cartineau itself.
Victory belongs to the bold. Show those Imperial whore sons what we're made of!
Alongside Roban are the other nation leaders, Merlwyb of Limsa Lominsa and Kan-E-Senna of Gridania. Kan-E-Senna catches a glimpse of a man that appears to be an Ascian.
We are being watched.
As communications fail and the battle appears to be lost, Kan-E-Senna addresses the other leaders.
Admiral, General, we can do no more. We must give the order to withdraw.
I will not forsake Louis Soir.
General, please. Victory may belong to the bold, but there will be no victor this day. The adventurers fight bravely, but to no avail. Let them withdraw, and let us be the ones to stand with Louis Soir.
Belay previous orders. All Maelstrom units are commanded to fall back, effective immediately.
Roban relents and orders his troops to withdraw as well. Meanwhile, the Ascian expresses excitement to behold Bahamut once again. The hero awakens in the inn, and Momodi says she had him carried away when he passed out at the banquet. She says Roban wishes to speak with him. At the Immortal Flames headquarters, Roban has a very important task for the hero. He's sending the hero as a personal envoy to meet the other leaders of the Eorzean Alliance. He wants to hold a commemoration of the Battle of Cartineau from 5 years ago, and the hero is to invite them to it. Roban gives the hero an airship pass, which is a high privilege, to make the journey. He boards the airship to Limsa Lominsa first. Meanwhile, in the Garlean Empire, Legatus Gaius van Baelsar stands in front of his army and recounts a lost battle from 15 years past.
15 years since the Imperial fleet set course for Mordona, led by the Egrios, mightiest of all vessels.
In this battle, the Garleans were set to conquer the independent land of Mordona, but the ancient dragon Midgard Sormir joined the fray and took down Agrius, the great ship.
Though we succeeded in slaying that lord among worms, the dread serpent's defeat was bought at too high a price. Our invincible flagship was lost, and all hope of victory with her. So ended our glorious conquest.
He speaks of how the Garleans failed to take Eorzea a second time 5 years ago, but they will not give up.
Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea. It falls to us to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Baelsar.
Nearby, one Garlean soldier asks another if they really want to keep trying to conquer Eorzea, but he is overheard by a superior.
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus' plan.
My lord!
The superior's name is Nero Tolskeva, and he reveals that the soldier is actually a spy, then cuts him down.
Clean up this mess, and do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
At once, my lord.
The hero arrives in Limsa Lominsa. He goes straight to the Admiral's desk.
So the silver-tongued merchants send an adventurer to speak for them. It appears the Uldahs place great faith in you. I bid you welcome. I am Merlwyb Blufisvin, Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and Commander of the Maelstrom. Now, what news from Thanalan?
The hero invites her to the event to commemorate the Battle of Cartineau. She speaks about how the Garleans sought to cleanse the realm by snatching the Lesser Moon Dalamud and casting it down upon Eorzea. They did everything they could to stop this lunacy, but were unable to prevent Bahamut from coming forth and wreaking havoc on the landscape. The Archon Louis Soir gave his life to shield many of them from the flames with a powerful spell, and she wishes they could glean from his wisdom today. She also says the beast tribes constantly threaten their borders, and unity in these times is essential. She accepts the invitation, and the hero departs for Gridania. He enters the Elder Seed Seer's Grove and meets Kan-E-Senna.
So you are the Ul'dah envoy. On behalf of our fair nation, I bid you welcome. I am Kan-E-Senna, Elder Seed Seer of Gridania, and leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, our nation's grand company. I understand you bear a message from the Flame General.
The hero hands her the invitation, and she gives a brief history of Garlemald. She says it was once a small nation in the continent of Isilbard, but everything changed when they discovered Magitech. They proceeded to conquer all of Isilbard, then turned their eyes to Eorzea. She says the emperor that drove this is Solus Zos Galvis, but he is now old and close to death. As the emperor grows frail, the legatus Gaius van Baelsar now continues the ambitions for Eorzea. She too says that the beast tribes are a constant threat to their lands. She wholeheartedly accepts the invitation, and the hero leaves. On his way out, the hero is met by an officer who says there's a job for him in Limsa Lominsa if he's interested. He says the hero should speak to Baeltar at the Drowning Winch in Limsa Lominsa. And chapter 1 ends there. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the hero could have started their journey in Gridania or Limsa Lominsa. In all three cases, the hero is called to their destiny by Hydaelyn and has the same set of visions. They all have the same ending, where the hero is honored with a banquet and then sent to the other nations to meet the other leaders. Where Ul'dah is themed around miners, merchants, and the desert, Gridania is centered around forests and magic, and Limsa Lominsa is filled with pirates and surrounded by the Sahagin. In Ul'dah, we became familiar with Thancred, whereas in Gridania it would have been Ul'dah and Papalimo, and in Limsa Lominsa it would have been Y'shtola. The next video begins where the stories converge, and all these characters will become quite familiar. Alright, enough said. Check out part 2, and see you next time.